Hello and welcome to episode 3 of series 3 of Master League Story Mode. Today we are going to be getting to everyone's favourite day of the year. It's transfer deadline. Oh, that was a bit stupid. No, I've gone too far the other way. Transfer deadline day. That's it. There we go. That's got it. What's that you say? Transfer deadline day? You need any help? Look, it's not a transfer deadline day yet, Harry. Come back when we ask you to, if we want your help, which we don't. And with transfer deadline day only 6 days away, Ian Holloway is rightly annoyed at his head of recruitment, top scout, Des Walker, and he's brought him into his office to have a little chat about what has frankly been a disappointing performance from the Bristol City Scouts. Right, Des, I've got something to talk to you about. Can I call you Desert Storm? Not really, I'd prefer if you... Right, Desert Storm, here's the thing, you're making me look like a pillock, a bloody pillock, alright? You've got me hanging out to dry, you've got me balls swinging over a bloody lake of piranhas or something. We don't make some good signings, I've sold half the bloody squad. I need you to find me some good players, and ideally, they'd be cheap, alright? Yes, Ian, yeah, I'm sorry, you know, we've been under pressure, budgets and all. I don't give a crap, I don't give a monkey's left eye. Just get it sorted. So there we go, Ian's starting to lose his rag a bit. He does have a short temper, he's got a short fuse, we've seen that. He's a happy-go-lucky guy some of the time, but you don't want to cross him. And it looks like Desert Storm might have done, so hopefully the scout will come back now and sort us out. Let's remind ourselves where we are in terms of players we're trying to deal with. We're fully booked here. We've got Bamford. We can bring him in for 3.4. That's a little bit more than I would have liked to spend, but at least he's a second striker by trade. He's a decent passer, great finisher. He's a bit lightweight. If we can find anything better, then I will. We're looking for another loan bid for a Marty. He'd be a good central midfield option. Chiravella was a bit of a panic one, really. We do need central midfielders. Mika the keeper, maybe. And now Cherry as well. He's the one that I actually do think would be a good signing. If we can get him for anything much less than the 6 million that we're looking at the moment, he'd be great. He can play as a second striker. He's got goals in him. He's a good passer and he's quick as well. He's 28, which is a bit older than I'd like. He's not exactly a muscle man in the centre, but I think he'd be a good spearhead of that trio in the middle with Pack and hopefully another player to his side. Reminder in the scouts, we've got Rossiter, central midfielder, free transfer, who will almost certainly sign because we need that. Now, after the last episode where I mentioned that you all, like so many of you commenters, did so well with some of the transfer targets that you found for me, shout out again to all of you, but as if by magic I thought that this would be it. You know, I thought to begin with there's no more linked players, but some of you put your heads down and you really came out with some gems. So I'm going to go through some of the best ones. So I'm going to go through some of the best that you came up with. Both Darren Hickey, great commenter, and also Matt Whelan, who we'll come on to in a second because he has outdone everyone. I didn't think it was possible. We might have a new head scout. This guy's been putting in the homework and he's come up with some gems. Anyway, one of the ones that he came up with, as well as Darren, was Stearman, who would be a decent look maybe as a reserve centre-back. We'll put him on the list. I'm not sure if we need a centre-back, but that's a decent one. He played under Holloway at Leicester way back in the 90s. 29-year-old. He was obviously pretty young then. Another great suggestion came from Matty Blade. Well done, Matty. It seems like the Mats are dominating in terms of scouting in this episode. He suggested Ndicko, who was at Blackpool, I think under Holloway. He looks like a really dangerous striker. He could definitely slot in at second striker if necessary. But he is rapid. Look at that. And pretty strong to boot. He's 24 years old, so maybe some room for improvement. He's got that amazing run and speeding bullet. He reminds me a lot of Abel Hernandez, stats-wise, from the last episode, from the last series. 74 finishing as well. It's worth 3.1 million. He would be good. If we can't get Poulter, who I think is the general consensus from every single person in the comment section is he is our man. If we can't get him, then Dicko I think would be another good option, especially seeing as he can play second striker as well. So finally we move on to the other players and teams that were suggested by Matt Whelan, who really went to town. Big respect to you, Matt. You took the brief and you ran with it. First up, you identified Stephen Clements, who played at Leicester under Holloway. He's now a coach at Villa, which gives us the whole of Villa to look at, which is great. So we'll put that in. We'll just whack the overall rating down to 72. And we'll see what we get in there. This is going to be interesting. A whole team to look through. And quite a few players here. Khadija. Well, this is interesting. Ex-Bristol City player. He had a lovely time at Bristol City before being sold to Villa for a substantial amount. I think it was something like 12 million. He would obviously be a really great player for us. He's a hero at Ashton Gate, so if we brought him back in, I'm sure The Bristol faithful would be happy with that. 4 million though, he might be out of our budget. We'll put him on the list anyway to have a look at. Jack Grealish is a player that I like. He could play in that attacking midfield or second striker role. He's a good passer. His finishing could do with improving, but he's got great ball control. 3 million though is quite expensive. That's a lot of money. Now Kozak is another great striker. The Czech who can play up front as a target man or also drop back into second striker role. He's got 77 finishing, 82 header. Hasn't got the header player skill, but he would be a really interesting one as well. So we'll put him on the list. Some good options there. I'm pretty happy with that. And then finally, Matt found me an absolute gem. He found me a connection with Manchester City, of all people, of all clubs. Unfortunately, because they're so good, it doesn't really leave us many in here. But basically, he found a player, Georgios Santos, who was at QPR under Holloway. He's now, I think, a coach at Man City. A couple of players in here, Alex Garcia. Another nice looking midfield, maybe option. Bit lightweight as well, like Chiravella. He's got great body control, but he's very, very weak. But a good passer as you'd expect from a team of Man City's standard. Got a couple of centre-back options as well. Hey, I like the look of you. 2.4 million, that's quite a lot. He can play at left-back and at centre-back. He's got good passing stats. He's quick as well. Got decent ball winning. It's a bit lightweight. We'll put both him and Adariabiu, who's a 19-year-old centre-back who looks like could really improve. Stick him on the list as well. Doesn't look like we'll have much luck negotiating with those players. But yeah, we bolstered the list pretty well there. That was good work from everyone. Again, thank you to all you commenters. Not only is it your comments and kind words that keep me going, but also these player and team suggestions have been absolutely invaluable. So let's take another look at our list, which is pretty fat now. Pretty fat. So I'm liking Poulter or Dicko as centre-forward signings. They're both worth about the same. We can't make any negotiations now. We've got to play this game before we can. Things are getting pretty tight at the window. So we're back at Ashton Gate. We've done pretty well there so far. Oh, some tired legs. This window is always so hard. You get so many games in such a short amount of time. And it's normally a time as well, as we have, where you sell off a lot of players and then you're trying to bring players in. So we've got a skeleton squad to play a lot of games in a row. So everyone's looking tired. Lee Tomlin, who's quickly becoming a fan favourite and a hero. Already shouts of Tomlin for England from the Bristol City faithful. He's looking good, although he did miss the big chance in the game against Newcastle that could have won us that game. Magnusson, our young Icelandic centre-back. I've been having a look for him online. He's 23 years old. He's a huge player for us already this season. He's going to be a big one. And then Flint as well. That is a centre-back duo that you can hang your hat on. Nothing wrong with that. Welsh international Matthews, that's a huge one as well. Looks like they could probably do with the rest though, so we can bring in Ekstrand for Magnusson in this game, I think. No, we'll just keep playing him. We'll play him into the ground. They do get normally a sort of week and a half break after the window, so we can probably manage it. Up against an Ipswich side that doesn't particularly have any real quality shining out. So at home, in great form, we should be looking to win this one. Let's get into it. So as we've seen, we've got a load of transfer targets lined up. We need to be making some moves really soon. Hopefully it hasn't unsettled any of the players, all this transfer talk in the papers. You know, players like Engvall, whose spot is definitely at risk. I mean, hopefully it's lit a fire under him and he's going to try and bang in a few more goals. But with people like Poulter and Dicko under consideration for a centre-forward signing, he's going to really have to play his heart out to secure a first-team spot after the window's over. Here comes Williams for Ipswich. He's been given a bit of time. Is that Johnny Williams, the Welsh savvy? Not the Welsh savvy, the Welsh Iniesta. Oh! It's a mistake from Goldborn. It's McGoldrick now into the box, pulls it back. Williams gets the shot away. O'Donnell is equal to it. And he throws it out quickly. That's a huge throw to Patterson. Can he get the head down to Smith? He can. Puts it into Tomlin. Looks over the top for Engvall. Is that going to be too far for him? It is. Decent vision there from Lee Tomlin. First corner of the game, and it's Pack over this one. Can he put it into the danger area? It's an out-swinging corner with the right foot. Patterson's in loads of space. Gets a head to it. It's cleared off the line. It's a pretty weak header, really, considering he had no pressure on him at all. So 41 minutes in, we're really struggling to make anything here. I don't think we've had a shot from either team. Ipswich really strangling us. But now it's Matthews, looks to put a ball in, but he steps back onto his left. That's poor. Got to be more decisive in those situations. Put a ball into the box. Flint wins it back. Now Smith into Pack. Spreads it wide to Matthews. Looking for the unrunning Smith, but that's a poor ball. Doesn't fall to him. And now Matthews out of position. Flint slides in to try and prevent the counter-attack. And that was a risky challenge. On the halfway line, it brings Flint a yellow card. That's the first card of the game for Bristol City. Unnecessary. Leaves a foot in there. Cynical maybe. Professional maybe as well. Stop the break at the very least. With half-time now approaching, it's a ball into the box from Ipswich. Magnuson misses the header, as does the Ipswich player. Now Goldborn spreads it wide. And that is a disappointing half. 0-0 at Ashton Gate. No shots on target, I think, from either side. Let's take a look. Oh no, one shot on target from each side. But it was pretty poor all round, to be honest. Oh, calm play from Magnuson, but he's lost out to McGoldrick. Too calm from the Iceland. But he's won it back again. And now it's a ball into Tomlin. This is danger here for Ipswich. Ball into Engvall. Slips it through to Patterson with a left foot finish. What a lovely little ball that was from Engvall. It was a blistering counter-attack from Bristol City. We needed to come out big. And it's the passionate, inspiring team talk of Ian Holloway at half-time that has no doubt inspired this turnaround. And 1-0, that's where we wanted to be. We've come out and scored a really nice goal there. It was Tomlin, the creator, started the move off, but it's the little slip ball inside from Engvall that was the real one. Magnuson won it back. And then it's Tomlin, an early ball into Engvall, who rolls his man and then slides a little ball into Patterson. One ball into Abraham. He takes it down nicely outside to Engvall. He's got Tomlin at the far post. Tomlin puts it back into Abraham, who decides to header it. Oh, the back heel from Abraham! Tammy Abraham. That is absolutely gorgeous. And that is 2-0. I'm not sure if I've ever scored a back heel like that. Luckily, Abraham was able to quickly make amends for what should have been a goal. And that is an Henry-esque finish with his back to goal. It was good build-up play. Engvall, he'd spread wide, his cross in. Tomlin put it back into the danger area. And Tammy Abraham's header was never going to trouble. But that back heel certainly did. He really gave that a good old whack. This will be a good thing. Tomlin put the ball into the danger area really well. Abraham, bang. That's lovely. We've seen some great goals so far from Bristol City. It's good play. And that's 2-0. Well, a fairly comfortable win in the end. The first half was pretty disappointing. After an Ian Holloway ticking off and some undoubtedly inspirational quotes, they came out in the second half, played really well. The goal was exquisitely worked, and then it was a piece of individual brilliance after some great build-up play from Tammy Abraham to backheel it in from quite a distance. Good stuff. Yeah, at the end of the day, we had a huge amount of shots compared to Ipswich. It was a bit of a beating when it comes down to it. Man of the match goes to Tammy Abraham, the substitute. He did do well, and that backheel, I guess, is worthy. So 2-0, another good win, and we're up into third, looking decent. So we're still yet to concede, as are Fulham and Brighton, though, to be fair. We've had one draw, we've scored 6. It's, you know, there's clearly a divide already becoming apparent between some of the teams at the bottom and the top of the table in terms of quality. So hopefully we hear something back from the scouts or from the negotiations, and we see something positive at least. So we need some positive news. And Marty's broken down. That looks to be a non-starter. But Cherry, Mika and Chiravella are all back. We've had some bids in from some other players. Let's take a look. So, Cherry, 5.3 million. That is expensive. That's a large portion of our transfer budget. Bamford, as we know, is 3.4 million. And Chiravella for 1.7. He's a maybe, but I think for now we leave him. I think we can do better. Mika, the keeper, for 1.7 million. I'll reserve judgment on that. I think we can make our first signing of the season, which is going to be Cherry from Queen's Park Rangers. 5.3 million is maybe a little bit more than we would have liked to have spent on a 28-year-old, but he's certainly got the stats to back up that price. So I'm going to pull the trigger on him. 774,000 salary. Did we try and negotiate that down? Now I look at it. No, we can't do anything there. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go for him. So there we go. First signing, Cherry. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Cherry. When we played against QPR in other PESs, in PES 16 and in this one, he's always been a real danger man. So I'm happy to bring him in. He's a good finisher, good passer. His lofted passing could do with improving, but actually playing in the middle of the park as an attacking midfielder, which is where we will put him, having that low pass, but also the dribbling and the explosive power, I think he's just the right player. And 85 body control for such a small man in the middle should mean he can bounce off players, and he can also slot in at second striker. So I think he is definitely the answer to a lot of the questions we've been asking Chiravella, I'm gonna end that because we need some space to do some more deals. And Mika, oh, I don't know. Bamford will leave on there because I think he probably will be one that we do sign. So Lee Tomlin's on a downward. That's a shame. He's gone down to 70. He looks like he's still got a lot of goals in him though from what we've seen. So that's our first signing. Exciting stuff. Luckily he can come in and replace Brown there. I think we're basically going to play him as an attacking midfielder in the centre with Pack, and I think it's probably going to be Rossiter on his right hand side. I think that's decent. I'm happy with that. And then we definitely need a second striker and then maybe a striker, and then I'm pleased. A keeper would be good, but I can live without that just because I think we're going to be scoring so many goals that it probably won't matter. So we can put in a few more bids. I would like Poulter, but I would like that to be a loan. So we'll try that. And then we need to put in the bid for Rossiter, the central midfielder. I mean, that should be done. That's a free transfer. There's nothing to worry about there. So that's the striker / second striker. If we have Bamford, Rossiter, and Poulter, I think we're just about good. And then hopefully we'll see if we've got any more money left. We'll see what we can do with that. We've got 4 million in the coffers. Hopefully a loan, a free transfer. That should maybe do it. I think we'll try a loan bid as well for Kozak. He's a target man very similar to Poulter. He's not quite the physical specimen, the absolute freak that Poulter is, but we'll try him for a loan as well. Right, let's get into our second game of the episode. It's Birmingham City. We're at home again at Ashton Gate. We're in a blistering run of form at the moment, and we've got new signing. Cherry in the middle. He's on a blue. He's looking good, and he's full of beans today. Hopefully he can inspire us to another win. I think we'll start Tammy Abraham up front. Engvall's looking a bit tired. Give him a break today, although he's been great. Everyone's looking tired, really. Flint's on a downward arrow, so we'll bring in Ekstrand. O'Donnell on a downward as well. So we go back at Ashton Gate, and this Bristol City side is starting to turn a few heads with some excellent passing play and some really, really good quality goals. We're popping up in goal of the week, goal of the month, again and again, and we've got new signing Cherry in there. He is looking like the sort of player that we can really, really do a lot with this season. He's got goals in him, he's got passing, and he's that exciting midfielder that we needed. Let's get into it. And it's into Abraham, the striker. He's got options left and right. Can he thread it through into Lee Tomlin? He can. Tomlin can't get the shot away. He's enveloped by the Birmingham defence. Good tracking back there by Abraham. It's a dangerous ball through looking for Donaldson. Cut out easily. But the referee pulls it back. Apparently something wrong with that from Ekstrand. Don't see anything there. If anything, it was Donaldson with an arm to his face. But it's a Birmingham free kick here. It's Cotterill, steps over it. It's banged by the Birmingham player. What a save that is on the line. Oh, that's a poor clearance from Goldborn. Matthews, though, somehow comes away with it. What a save that was from our reserve keeper. And now Smith brings it forward with some strong running. This is direct stuff here from Smith. Looking for the run of Patterson into the box. Can he find Tomlin? Oh, decent ball in. Ball into Donaldson. Ekstrand comes out to meet him. He lays it off. Smith with a good tackle. Birmingham still in possession. Dangerous ball into the box looking for Donaldson. Strong header from Ekstrand. And now it's Patterson. Little chip over into Abraham. He gives it back to Patterson. Tomlin's made the run through the centre. It's Lee Tomlin here. Can he get the shot away? He can. Kuszak gets a good hand to it. Puts it wide. And it's away. And it's half time. Well, same as in the last game. We pushed hard. Couldn't get a goal. Some promising play. Cherry looked good on his debut. There's some tired legs definitely in this side. Birmingham City absolutely overrun though. 64% possession. Magnuson into Pack. He puts it inside to Cherry. Ahead of him. He runs onto it. Steps inside of Cotterill. Good running here from Cherry. And around another. Hits it with the left. Decent effort, Kuszak. He's got legs to him, this lad. Big fan of the Dutchman. Nice ball into Tomlin. Tomlin edge of the box. And he get the shot away. Lee Tomlin. It was a tame one really, but it was blocked. But Tomlin's won it back here. Goldborn ball inside looking for Cherry. Hits it. Oh, it's just wide. He's looking for his first goal, the Dutchman. After signing for QPR. That was a good chance. Probably his best chance of the game. It's a nice ball in from Jeff Goldblum. And Cherry there just putting it wide. But it looks like there might be a goal coming from him. Now it's Cherry again bringing it forward. Strong running again. Look at this speed. He's great to play with. He's just got that feel to him. You know he's going to be good. Abraham inside. Little touch away. Into the box still. Tammy Abraham is shot straight at the keeper. Oh, that should have been a goal there. Good play. Patterson inside. Into Cherry. He turns. It's a curling shot from Cherry. Oh, he wants a goal today on his debut. He's been working himself into some beautiful spaces. It's a good play down the left-hand side, down the right-hand side. Into Cherry. Cuts back in. And it's a wicked curling shot. Good hand to it there. Shades of Jordan Verity for you, those who know him. Pack with the corner. He's launched it. Far post. Can Abraham get the ball back across? He can! Into Patterson! And that's goal number 1. That is a perfectly worked routine there from the corner. You can see that was one from the training ground. Abraham peeled off to the far post and he was picked out by Pack. And the ball back inside to Patterson. Gets another goal. It's his second in 2. He's making a case for himself with Bamford maybe coming in to take his place. Good header, well cut out by Goldborn, but it's only back as far as the Ipswich player, Birmingham City player. It's Fabrini now into the box. It's a good ball. Donaldson. Oh, great tackle. Got to get that. Oh my God. X-Ran takes it away. Smith ball into Abraham. He gets it off to Lee Tomlin. Oh, Tomlin caught in possession there. He's struggling today, but to be fair, he is on a downward form arrow. Pack can't win that back. Fabrini. This is dangerous play here from Birmingham. Tesh back inside to Donaldson, and that is our first goal conceded of the season. And it's back to 1-1. Bristol City pulled apart there with a good move from Birmingham. It's a good ball through to Donaldson. Dangerous here from Birmingham. Gets the shot away. It's just past the left-hand post of the Bristol City goal, and that was dangerous there. Oh, Engvall caught in possession. We didn't need that. Oh, but it's fallen to Abraham. Ball inside to Engvall. Ball across the box into... Oh, Little lets it go through his feet. It's Pack this time. This is last chance saloon. 95th minute. Extra time has been played. It's Pack with the in-swinger. Abraham's got ahead of his man. Gets the header. It's not to be. Can Pack get it back into the box in time? Probably had more time to look at that. And that's game over. 1-1. Disappointing. We had the chances. And it was a real sucker blow as we concede our first goal of the season to Birmingham City. Bristol City fans, I think, really expected a win there. We were absolutely all over them. I think the stats will probably bear that out. And they do. 9 shots on target, 60% possession. That's unfortunate. It's just the way things go sometimes. It was a decent debut for Cherry. Patterson got another goal and Tammy Abraham had an okay game up front as the lone striker starting for the first time this season. Can't help but think it was the great performance in goal, and he got 7 for Thomas Kuszak in the Birmingham City goal that kept them in the game. Another 2 points drop there, unfortunately, and that leaves us 2 points behind Reading and Fulham. We're still yet to lose. Reading and Fulham both have. We've only conceded the 1, but it was the 1 today that cost us those points. Let's take a look. Patterson's popped up with 2 goals. Lee Tomlin obviously started really well with 2 great goals, and Tammy Abraham as well, doing pretty decently. Matthews, Goldborn, both bombing on, getting those assists. That's what we want to see. Oh, Tammy Abraham, that's an interesting development. Dramatic improvement for him. He could get really, really good really quickly. Finishing already up to 73, header to 75. He's transfer listed at the moment. We have had an offer. Okay, let's see how we do. This is big. Tammy Abraham, he looks to improve, and we've had the scout back in as well. Everything's now happening. So what we've got, Cabano, interesting. Let's have a look at him. Okay, good passer. He's quick. He's pretty lightweight. Not really a finisher. He can play attacking midfield and the second striker role. 2.7 million in from Fulham. One to look at maybe. Colcat, another central midfielder to consider. He's another free agent. Oh, hello. We've got a bit of competition here for Rossiter. Oh, and also, who's this? Liverpool's Joe Gomez, the centre-back. Had a suggestion of him in the comments in the last episode. I can't remember who you were at this very second. But I did mention he'd be good, but we didn't necessarily think he was going to pop up. But he'd be a good one as well. Transfer deadline day is nearly a promise, though. We're going to have a hell of a lot to do on transfer deadline day, and not much time to do it. I think, what do we do? What do we do? I mean, we're going to need a second striker. We're probably not going to have much time on transfer deadline day to sort out Cabano. So I think we're just going to have to gamble on Paddy Bamford. Oh, dearie me. This is a tough decision for us to make here. Let's just remind ourselves what extra money we could potentially bring in. Brian, left back cover. We need to keep him. Smith in central midfield. Well, we can probably let him go. That's 1.2 million that we don't have yet. Patterson, the centre forward. He's been decent actually. You know, he's popped up with goals. Oh, 500,000 would be useful. O'Donnell, the keeper. I mean, we need to keep him at the moment. And then Abraham, we can't really sell him now that he's getting into that improvement. I think we can sell Smith. I think we can do it. We've got as backup if we, assuming we do get in. Brian can play there. Freeman can play there as well. Smith really has nothing to him and he's 25 years old. He doesn't look like he's going to get any better. Grabbing 1.2 million from him now is probably a good idea. So we'll get that done before the transfer window starts. He's with 5.4. Patterson. Or with Bamford and hopefully another striker. He's going to struggle to get in there. I think, although he's scored for us twice and he's looked decent, you've got to look at those stats. For a 25-year-old, I can't see him really getting any better. I think we're going to take the money because I think we're going to need it. So we'll sell him as well. Jesus. Okay, so that is with 5.9. Brian, I think we have to keep because we need that left back backup. O'Donnell, he's our first choice keeper at the moment, basically, which is pretty sad. And then Abraham, we can't really sell. If we bring in another keeper, then we've got a potential for 400,000 from Fielding. Abraham, oh, no, I can't do it. I mean, oh, no, we keep Tammy. I like him. He's got potential. So really, if we're going to sign Bamford, we should do it now. We don't want to waste time on transfer deadline day with something like this. He's 23 years old. He's got room to improve. 75 finishing. His passing is poor. He's actually pretty quick, but he's very, very lightweight. I don't think we're going to be able to sign another second striker, so I'm going to pull the trigger on him. Yep, okay, we'll get that done. That had to be done, really. So hopefully tomorrow we find out about Poulter or Kozak, and they become our first choice centre forwards. Either of them, one of them hopefully on loan, will be better than what we've got so far up front. Both of them 77 plus finishing. Both of them near enough to 80 header. Poulter's the one I'd choose, but Kozak just as good really. He's a bit older. And then Rossiter, the free transfer as well, will hopefully come through tomorrow. Well, okay. Let's get to it. Let's get to transfer deadline day. No, Poulter and Kozak both breaking down. That is not what we needed to see. We need to sign a centre forward today. There's just no other option. But Bamford comes in. Let's take a look at that. I can't believe Poulter. Why? I mean, a loan is not a. That's not. It's not completely out of the question, is it? Okay, so Bamford, second striker, 69. He's not ideal, but he's a good goal scorer. He can also obviously play as a striker. And then we've got Engval or Abraham as options up front. Let's take a look at the negotiations. Oh my god. Alright, so yeah, we bring in Rossiter on a free transfer. 200,000. I'm not going to quibble on that. That's 2 hours done. 13 hours left in the window. It's squeaky bum time in terms of negotiations here. We need to get some stuff done and we need to get it done fast. So Rossiter is in. Let's take another look at the team as it slowly builds into something that we can be a bit proud of. So that's the centre midfield sorted really. The youngster Rossiter is maybe the weak link there, but he's actually defensively pretty decent. His defensive prowess, ball winning, kicking power is pretty good. Physical contact, speed and explosive power is a bit lacking, but he's a good passer. Pack we know is good. Cherry looked great in his first game. We've got Bamford now on the left, or maybe up front. We need another striker or second striker. If I'm honest, I'm at a loss as to what to do now. We need a striker or a second striker. Cabano is an option. He's likely to be out of our price range if we put a bid in for him. He can't finish, but he can pass. We need a goal scorer, really. It doesn't look like Poulter is going to be an option, which is such a shame. That's the one we all wanted. I know we did. He's a beast. Jonathan Kadia. Do we try and put a loan? The thing is, we've got the potential for one loan. It'd be a shame to waste that. Dicko would be good, but he's going to be out of our price range. Maybe we need to look for a cheaper striker. Or maybe we just go with Engvall and Hoffman as our first 2 strikers. But then... I don't know. I'm going to try a loan bid for Dicko. Don't think we'll ever have enough to sign him. 11 hours left in the transfer window. This is a pretty big risk. No, that's not worked. That's not worked. Do we get a chance to renegotiate with him though? We do. It's worth negotiating one more time. I like the look of Dicko. He's definitely going to be more direct. 74 finishing as well. 80 body control. He's better than what we've got. 8 hours till the end of the window. Oh god, we are cutting this fine here. Okay, Dicko could be coming in. Dicko for 700,000. That's a big loan. I'd like an option to buy really, but at 74 I don't think we can take that risk. I think we've just got to go for that. Yep, that's done. Okay, so we've signed a decent striker here. That's promising. Okay, let's take another look at the team. At least now we've signed a real quality centre forward. He quickly becomes our strongest centre forward, and he comes in ahead of Engvall and Abraham. Problem with Engvall and Abraham is that neither of them are very good as second strikers. We don't really have any backup in the second striker position, which I think is going to be our problem. But I'm pretty happy with this. I think Dicko's the right player for us. We're not putting crosses in. And actually to have a really quick player we can play that final ball to after all the great passing that we're going to be putting together. And then 74 finishing as well. I think that's probably just about right. Let's take a look and see what we can do in the dying embers of this transfer window. We've still got a little bit of cash. 0.7 million. How much is Mika? Oh, it's sort of meant to be, isn't it, really? I think we've got to sign him. We've got enough for it. Yep, that's fine. I'm happy with that. 7,000 left in the transfer budget. I don't think I've ever got it down that low. Only 4 hours left to go. So that's a new keeper in. We did need that, to be fair. Our keeper is really quite poor. So that means that our only sub-70 player now is Patrick Bamford at second striker. But actually I think he's right for us there. Although he's not a very good passer, it's actually our wing-backs. They're not really wing-backs, but they sort of do bomb on in Matthews and Goldburn that are going to be putting the crosses in, if any. And actually it's good to have a player like Bamford, who's a great finisher, has got decent ball control alongside the pace. Basically all of our strikers now have got 74 or above finishing, and I'm really pleased with that. Cherry as well is going to bring in some goals, and I think Rossiter and Pack as the deeper lying central midfielders is a pretty good duo, really. I'm pretty happy. That's all we've got time for today. This has been a really long episode, I know that for a fact. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you in a bit.